Hi, everyone. I'm just going to say hi in the chat. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. Just quick hi in the chat there. Okay, so I am going to wait for people to trickle in a little bit, but I do first want to say thanks, everyone, so much for your support recently. Comments have continued to trickle in about stuff, but that's not what this live stream is about. This live stream is going to be talking about some shortages that people have seen, what I've seen, and I actually have a whole bunch of tabs open right now with a bunch of what the news is saying, and then what we can do about it, and also talk about the fact that shortages have been happening for a while. So, as preppers is kind of what we do. We prep for the worst case scenarios, and in a lot of cases lately, the worst case scenarios have been, shortages of food and toilet paper still, and a bunch of other stuff. So again, I have a whole bunch of tabs open here, and if you guys have seen any shortages, I'm going to put that in the chat here. Maybe I can pin it. Can I pin it from here? I don't know. Something needs to be an ad. Can I pin comments? I don't know. Okay, if you guys have seen any shortages in your area, put it in the chat. Let me know in all caps. Yeah. In general, if you ever have any questions or anything, try to put them in all caps. So thanks everyone for being here. Okay, so first I am actually going to talk about what a couple people have said in the comment section on the community section. So I won't see the chat here for a second. A couple people said, let's see, the bacon. He was here in the chat. I don't know if he is right now. The bacon said that he has seen beef shortages. And then somebody else has also seen chicken shortages. And then somebody else said that they have seen chicken and pork prices going up, as well as shortages of those meat items. And let's see, there was an article here about chicken shortages. There we go. So apparently, a lot of the meat manufacturers and things have been closing. I have a couple articles here. Let me drag this one over here. I know you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking to myself here. Actually, May 5th, one article is saying that on May 5th, the fast food chain Wendy's announced that some menu items were unavailable, and analysts estimated that nearly 1 in 5 Wendy's franchises was out of beef. That's like their main thing. It's a pretty big deal for like a fast food chain that serves basically hamburgers to be out of beef. And it said that the reason was because a lot of the meat processing plants were temporarily closed due to COVID. Apparently, a lot of people have been getting sick, and it says that some 20 meat packing and food processing workers have died from COVID as a result of the pandemic. So 22 meat packing plants have closed in the last 2 months. And this article came out May 16th. I'm sorry. It came out May 18th of 2020. But this beef shortage and meat shortage has actually continued on through the pandemic. Like for the past year, I have seen big shortages of beef, and I've seen also huge price increases of beef. So when we go to Costco, we get like bulk beef, and we just repackage it ourselves and that kind of thing. And, I think one of these articles was like, just stop eating beef and don't eat so much beef. And I'm like, I don't know if that's 100% like the solution. I think the solution is not necessarily to eat less of whatever shortage is there, but maybe to look more local. I could think of 3 places local within, maybe a half hour to an hour distance, just kind of depends, local, that I can get all of my meat, chicken, pork, whatever I want. And I can get all that local. from locally raised beef, locally raised chickens, local. Okay, so if you can find a local supplier that will serve their local community, that's a better answer. Now, if you want to totally forego beef and meat, great. Do whatever you do. You do you. All right. I just saw my hands. My daughter did this tonight. They're smiley faces. She did it on her hand, then she did it to me, and then we did high five, smiley face. Random. I just saw it in the video, so I had to say it. Okay, so let me look at the bacon is up 11%. Yeah, bacon has been wildly expensive. Bacon in Canada is up 62%. Wow. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I keep forgetting I can click on this stuff. Bacon up 62%. That is a wild increase. Are there not local pigs there? Are you not sourcing that bacon local? I want to have my own pigs just so I don't have to. I want my own pigs. I want my own cows. I want my own goats and sheep. I want my own my own animals so that I don't have to worry about any of these shortages. Okay, yeah, and then bacon up 11%. Those are wild increases for sure. Let's see, a 16-ounce package of bacon at Aldi or Walmart, still below $3. Tax so far, we don't beef. I'm assuming you're saying you don't eat beef. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you don't want to eat beef, you don't want to eat chicken, whatever. Like, there's lots of other protein options or whatever if you want to do that. It's, whatever. Or go hunting for your own food. do what you got to do. But thanks, everyone, for popping in. Just want to say thanks. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so last year, my son and daughter-in-laws was not seeing shortages. Of what they were seeing with the grocery stores and big box store holding all kinds of meat back to make it look like it was shortage. So I kind of want you to elaborate what you mean by holding back the meat. Like, did they literally physically see the grocery store employees or management or whatever just literally holding back the beef or meat or whatever and not selling it? Just saying, it's short. Because, this is perishable stuff. And so I have a really hard time believing that grocery stores are literally holding back food and stuff so that they're not getting profit off it because they're buying all that food. And so some places may have some sort of deal with the people to sell back whatever they didn't sell, just depending on what it is, but really not a lot of places. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who might work in grocery or whatever, but I'm having a really, really hard time believing that a store that is there to make money and profit and buys this merchandise would physically hold it back from people just to make it look like it. Now, I'm not saying it's not, it didn't happen. Crazy things have happened over this past year that I never thought would happen. So, hey. Okay, so yeah, so some cleaning supplies and ammo. Yeah, I've seen an abundance of cleaning supplies. Like in my area, I've just seen so much cleaning supplies. Like last year, we did see a little bit of a shortage for a few months, but I haven't really seen any shortages. Now, ammo still, yeah, ammo hasn't really come back. We have stumbled across ammo and been like, oh, haha. We were literally right place, right time, and we happened to get the ammo, but ammo prices in general are still really, really high, and it is still pretty difficult to get. Even the reloading supplies, like we were like, oh, let's reload, but primers are the hardest to find. Though I was reading on how you can make your own primers. It's a very interesting process. I'm not going to go into that today, but okay, so yes, canned meats have in my area seem to be back in stock now too. I have seen some shortages of Spam lately. Like I seem to like whenever I go to the store, there just seems to like the Spam aisle, the Spam section rather, it just seems to have been like just taken apart. But I've started to see all that stuff come back, all the canned meats. canned chickens and all that. I did want to say about the about the chickens. This is actually recent. The chicken shortage I just posted on Instagram a few days ago. And this article that I'm going to read right now comes from April 29th, that the chicken shortage, fried chicken craze is causing U.S. to run low on poultry. In other news, not just wings, but chicken in general, there's a system-wide shortage, but they will be back soon, apparently. It seems the poultry, I'm not sure. Let's see. Demand for the new, I guess this is just talking about blame COVID-19 as sandwich craze and huge appetite for wings. I guess they're blaming just the fact that people are eating out more. This article is kind of weird. Apparently, I think they're talking from the CEO of like KFC and some other fast food places, Wingstop, that kind of places that are seeing a huge decrease in their chicken supply. Chick-fil-A. Apparently, there's a new craze in which more people are eating chicken now more than ever because of the pandemic. That's what they're saying. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Okay, so first of all, thank you, the bacon. I don't know if I can show this. Thank you, bacon. Let's see, Wendy's 2021. Where's the beef? No beef. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate it. Yes, love bacon. I have actually cut down our bacon a little bit. I got, I buy bacon, like I'll buy 1 or 2 packs or whatever, and then I'll just stick them in the freezer, and then I'm like, no, I can't eat it because it's getting expensive and I can't find it. And so I'll just like keep it in my freezer, but we're starting to eat it more now. Yeah, I would like to know what everybody's gas prices is. It's $2.87 in gallon WSU. Let's see, I had this was April 27th. This is an article, coming this summer, gas stations running out of gas. That's the literal headline. Coming this summer, gas stations running out of gas. And you guys, tell me how that is not fear mongering right there. This is ridiculous. Like, this is one reason why there will be a gas shortage, because of headlines like this. It just like drives me insane. And then they're just like, good luck finding gas. But I get it. According to the National Tank Truck Carriers, the industry's trade group, somewhere between 20% to 25% of tank trucks in the fleet are parked heading into the summer due to a lack of drivers. At this point in 2019, only 10% of trucks were sitting idle for that reason. We've been dealing with a driver shortage for a while. So in this case, we're talking about a driver shortage, not necessarily a shortage on gas necessarily, but there's also been some issues with gas with this current administration, which has raised prices, but in general, it's also cyclical. Okay, so every summer gas prices will raise and then they'll go down, back in the winter. Now, I saw gas prices raising quite a bit way before summer, several months ago, and I even mentioned it. And someone was like, this is normal. It actually wasn't normal for the time. But it was like a week after Biden got into office. So I was like, and started doing all of his executive orders and everything. And so I was like, this is a little too suspicious for me to just suddenly be like, no, it's cyclical. And it's for such early on in the year, it didn't seem cyclical. And so anyway, in this article from April 27th, the national average price of regular gas stands at an average of $2.89. Here, I live in a rural area. It was $2.99. So not too bad. But yeah, I would be interested. Gas is $2.69 in Central Florida. Seems to be some $3.30 at the local place. I have definitely seen it around at $3, $3.20, $3.30, especially in bigger cities. I've seen it a little bit more expensive. Gasoline in Michigan's $2.99. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. I work a retail at a 99, and we made sure to push everything out. This is kind of what I'm saying. Like, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm totally not. It doesn't quite add up to me why a store would hold back merchandise from being purchased just to make it look like a shortage and for higher demand. Now, I get it. You know, maybe if sales were bad or something, I don't know, and they wanted to create that fear, I don't know. I'm not calling anybody a liar or anything. It just, to me, as a business standpoint, that all makes sense. And so, you know, like Nissy is saying here, you want to make sure that you're pushing everything out so that you're making all your money, right? You're a business. You want to make your money. It just makes sense to me. But I don't know, you know, maybe they had their reasons. I don't know. Maybe they had their reasons for doing what they did. Maybe it was bad. I don't know. I don't know what their reasons. It just seems really crazy to me that they would do that. Thank you. I eat what they put on my plate. Who puts on your plate? I have been starting to see more ammo. Ooh, well, where are you getting your ammo? No, don't tell us. Okay, it's 305 in PA, up from 245 in January. And, you know, it is getting closer to summer, so we should be seeing higher gas prices just in general. That's kind of what happens. Thank you, though. Forgot to say thank you. Where's my spam? That's right. Where's my spam? A lot of meat getting pumped to the food banks right now. Okay. I heard back a ways that there was a that food banks were saying that there was a food shortage, but I don't know if that's still the case. But let me okay, so let me go to another article. Another thing that was interesting was this article was just posted 12 hours ago, and U.S. job growth far below expectations in April amid labor shortages. Apparently, there are labor shortages. I'm not sure exactly where they're talking about specifically, but I know that in my area, all I see is help wanted, help wanted. We're hiring. I mean, Americans over the age of 16 are now eligible to receive the COVID vaccine, leading states to lift most of their corona capacity restrictions on businesses. But they're saying there's a labor shortage. I think what they're saying is that there's a labor shortage as in people want to work. Wait, the unemployment rate rose to 6.1% in April from 6.0 in March. The jobless rate has been understated by people misclassifying themselves as being employed but absent from work. It's weird. Anyway, U.S. job growth far below expectations in April amid labor shortages. That's what that one article is saying. Another shortage, labor shortage. 10 supply shortages that may happen again this year. This is from an article. Gosh, it actually says, unless you are a prepper, someone who actively prepares for a catastrophic disaster or emergency at the beginning of 2020, you probably didn't have a stockpile of food and supplies stored. While no one will argue that it's not a good feeling when you're on your last roll of toilet paper or you need milk and the store shelves are empty, that's no excuse to hoard when the opportunity presents itself. Instead, when supplies are fully stocked, slowly stockpile. This is from an article. I'm not saying it's from an article from 4/1/2021. Here's the scoop on the shortages. I hate it when they link to somewhere else. I'm like, just show me on your article. Ugh. Okay. So a lot of these grocery store shortages that I'm seeing, I haven't seen any of these. In fact, I've actually seen a wider selection of some of this stuff. Some of these articles are saying that your favorite cookies, sodas, or soups there might be a lack of canned and frozen vegetables. An increase in home cooking has led to increases in demand for frozen and canned foods. So I guess people are just having a hard time keeping up. And then cleaning supplies. Predicts availability of household cleaners will not bounce back to normal levels for a while. Although, like I said, I've seen cleaning products like just fully available on the shelves. I've also seen an abundance of new brands popping up in the cleaning department. So I think other brands are picking up where other brands are not able to supply. Foods and beverages in aluminum cans. There's been an aluminum shortage actually for a while. There's a major aluminum shortage for a while. And then let me actually talk about the lumber shortage. Apparently, here, let me get this off. Just had this on the screen. I go to another, I was reading the article and I'm talking about that. Anyway, and then the lumber shortage, prices on lumber is insane right now. I cannot believe it. A lot of people say that's cyclical too, and they're expecting that the lumber prices should be going down. But in my lifetime, I've never seen it this high, but that doesn't mean it never has been. Could have been. I just wasn't paying attention or something. I don't know. Yeah, alcohol has actually been in abundance. You're right. Alcohol has not been affected at all. I know someone, I have a friend who distills and he makes alcohol and sells it legally, not just from his backyard, but, and he has been quite busy. He has been very, very busy. He's been making hand sanitizer as well. He got on that as soon as the hand sanitizers were low last year. He was supplying that, and he has been very, very, very busy. And his business has boomed over past year or two. So, yeah, alcohol really has not been affected. It's been staying steady on those shelves, but that is interesting. We can't hire people. They are making more at home. Yeah, but they're working from home. I mean, people are working though. That's my point. That's what I'm getting at the job shortages. I'm not really sure like what exactly job shortages they're seeing. More specifically, just probably fast food, things like that. You know, they're unable to retail a lot of these places. Yeah, because a lot of people are making more from home. But a lot of people transitioned from working in their office to working from home, but for that same person. So it wasn't really like, oh, I'm just going to find a new job at home or something. But yeah, I mean, working from home is becoming a big thing this day. I think it filled up at 450. 450. Where you at? In LA? That doesn't surprise me if you're in LA. Okay. Ammo's coming back here, but still way too high price. Yeah. I will only buy from the people who are not trying to like make it $1 a round for, nine or something like it. It's just ridiculous. Like ridiculous. Food banks always say they have critical shortages. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that. Stores are holding lumber so they will get a really high price in a few months. What stores are holding lumber? Sorry, I'm reading comments. I was getting on the oh, let me see. Gas prices in Norfolk are $2.69. Did I say Norfolk right? Norfolk. That's how it looks to me. So that's how I'm going to say it. News today, unemployment pays $300 a week. Yeah, but you can't stay on unemployment forever. And actually, they've stopped the COVID relief for most places. So they're not getting paid more in a lot of cases. And a lot of unemployment places are actually cracking down hard on people so that because like specifically I heard in Texas, they were like, Texas is opening up, let's get let's get, people out working again. And apparently I read in an article that unemployment is making extreme, are taking, well, I don't know how to say this. They're taking extreme measures to weed out the people who are just doing it just to do it. And then the people who actually really need it, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that COVID relief for the unemployment benefits are actually ending for many, many places. And then, yeah, but, yeah, I'm sure there's still a lot of people who are very happy to say, thank you, government, and not go to work. So, it is mostly retail and fast food and was typically considered unskilled labor. That is having a shortage in labor. Yeah, for sure. And I believe that, and that's mostly where I have seen the now hiring, but I've seen people hiring in a lot of places. But yeah, that's where I have seen an abundance of them, is the retail, fast food, grocery, things like that. They're always looking for people. But yeah, so okay. All right. So let me read out this. I don't know if you guys heard about what was happening at the canal. Now, I cannot pronounce this right. So it's is it the Susano essay? I am sure I am mispronouncing this. I have never actually heard anyone. I read a lot, you guys. I get more chances to read than I do to actually listen to news broadcasts or listen to videos and that kind of thing. I read a lot. I get more chances to read. Oh, it's so hot in here. It's 90 degrees today. It is hot in here. Okay. I get more chances to read. So sometimes I'm like the Susano, the Sao Paulo, that's what I hear. And so anyway, but there was a backlog of all those cargo ships and everything, and toilet paper was on the cargo ship. And so, but it's not just because of what happened with that ship that was blocking the canal. It was, it's natural disasters that are literally tipping over shipping containers that have the goods in it. And so that creates a supply chain disruption. And so it's not always COVID. Here, let me go back up. It's not always COVID, and it's not always whatever. It's not always just one thing. Okay, this is what we have to keep in mind with shortages. It's not always just one thing that's oh, well, COVID is causing everything. Oh, natural disasters are causing everything. It could be a mix of all of it. It could be yes, but I wasn't saying, I wish I just closed the article. Yes, I am talking about that. Suez, it's pronounced Suez. Thank you, Suez. You guys are great. Okay, yes, I was talking about the Suez, but they were calling it they're calling it something else. And now it's totally lost. I'll have to rewind whatever I said in it a second ago. But yes, the Suez. I was talking about the Suez. That was a cluster, wasn't it? Wasn't that interesting? Anyway, but because of what happened with the Suez, thank you. It was definitely a problem. That was definitely a problem too. And stuff like that, it pops up so randomly, that thing that happened with that ship blocking the canal, the Suez Canal. Crazy. Who expects that to happen? Nobody. But that was definitely, part of the, supply chain disruptions. And so, but natural disasters are a big one too, and this is the thing. with shortages have actually been happening almost every year. Almost every single year, you will hear of some type of shortage. Why? Generally because of a natural disaster that is causing some sort of ripple effect. Now, are these shortages going to be causing a shortage in everywhere, in every state, in every city, and across the world? No, it's not. These shortages are not going to be caused, everywhere. It's not going to have a problem everywhere. In fact, I've been showing pictures on Instagram of some canning jars that I saw recently. I've been seeing them at Walmart and my Ace Hardware. I've been seeing an abundance of them. But I hear from people and they say, I have not been able to find canning jars. And I'm like, that's so wild, because I've seen an abundance of canning jars. But it really greatly depends on your area too. Like I'm in a rural area and I'm seeing an abundance. And some people were saying in rural areas I can find more, but in the cities, they were saying in the rural areas I can't find anything, but in the cities I can find everything. And it's kind of the opposite for me. In the rural areas, I can find more than I have been in the city. And so it's just crazy that, like how different a lot of places are. And so we just have to understand that just because one area could be seeing shortages, but also like if you hear that there are shortages somewhere, I don't want you to just like go out and start panic buying. As preppers, we should already know that shortages can happen for any reason, for whatever reason, for literally any reason. Pick a reason out of a hat. And you could see shortages. I think, prepping long before we ever see or hear about these shortages so that we aren't affected as individuals and as families while these shortages are taking place. We already have these goods and supplies and whatever, and we already have contingency plans, and we already have all these things in place so that we're not, suddenly being shocked by these shortages and being like, oh my gosh, what is this? And, as preppers, that's kind of like the cornerstone to, being prepared. We're prepared. And so we don't have to freak out when we see these shortages because we got this. And so I want you to learn from these shortages that we're seeing right now. And I want you to actually look back in history and be like, wow, there have been some shortages in history that, I feel like recently, because of the extreme shortages that we've seen over this past year from COVID and, a lot of new preppers and that kind of thing, we kind of seem to be a little bit hyper-focused a little bit. So we're a little bit hyper-focused and we're just like, oh, well, these shortages have never happened before. And, this is an extreme, crazy time. Well, I can't think of a time in which it hasn't been a little bit crazy and some shortages and increases of prices and all these things. Now, inflation is definitely happening. That's definitely a thing. Okay. Inflation has been happening. It's been happening for years and it will continue to happen, unfortunately. Inflation is extremely, it's out of control. And so that's something else that we also have to keep in mind. We need a shortage reason bingo card for this summer. Yeah, make it and I'll put it out there. But yeah, exactly. That's the whole idea of being a prepper. So you're not shocked by these things that are happening because you have seen that they have happened and you are smart. You are so smart and you're not going to let this happen to you. And you are not going to be that person who is like, I don't know what's happening. I didn't know. You knew. We all knew. We all knew this was a possibility. We all knew this could happen. So you did know. But a lot of people don't want to know. And they, I think what really happens is the normalcy bias comes into play, like what's been happening throughout this whole pandemic. And it's like that whole meme of like, suddenly everyone's a prepper. You're not, though. You were a prepper for maybe a month or two. And all these people who said, well, I'm a prepper now, I would say about maybe half of them have continued to prep, and the other half have been like, well, life is back to normal now. Great. I don't ever have to prep ever again. So it's always kind of a battle, it's a battle with yourself, because you think that everything is happy and normal and great. But we have to understand that things can happen at any moment for any reason, right? So that's the whole point of prepping. Oh my gosh, guys, it is so hot in here. Okay. I've been begging people to stop buying ammo at way too high prices. Me too. Thank you. I have been trying to tell people this. Like, I know that there's a lot of new shooters coming out this year. Over this past year, there's been a lot of new shooters, and they've kind of been forced to buy ammo at some of these high prices. But I implore you to look around and to actually find ammo at regular prices. I have been able to find ammo at maybe not regular, but slightly above average or normal, whatever that normal was, and try to find those people. There are absolutely gun stores that are not taking advantage of people that are just selling it for the normal price, because it's actually the seller that is putting out the price. And so yeah, we really have to cool it on buying ammo at such high prices. It's like, I understand you need ammo, you want ammo, I get it. Truly I do, especially with the shortage, it makes people anxious, and then when it comes out, they just want it. But the prices could definitely go down if people would stop buying at these crazy prices. Okay. We had to start years ago to be okay. And that's so true, unfortunately, with ammo. But there are a lot of new shooters, and I feel really bad for them. But this has happened, definitely. This happens a lot with ammo. It goes up and down, especially around election years and things like that. But I do feel like this has lasted a while. I hear things will kind of start coming back around summer, but where have I heard this before? I heard the aliens were supposed to be here last July, but I don't see them here. Thank you. Yeah, we have not bought at crazy prices, but I feel like we've bought at a price that was a little too high. And ever since we did it that one time, I was just like, nope, never again. I will only buy ammo when I see it at a semi-normal price. I can't do it. So, yeah. Medical supplies and drugstore items need to be put away as we are still seeing shortages. Can you explain on this? Medical supplies and drugstore items need to be put away. Oh, duh. You're saying preppers need to go out and get medical supplies and drugstore items. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with this. Sorry, I get in weird. It's one conversation to the next here. But yes, I agree. I totally agree. Medical supplies and drugstore items are so, they're very overlooked is what I'm saying. So yes, I totally agree with this. I actually have a video coming up of a review of a new a first aid bag, which looks really good. But yeah, just go to the drugstore or whatever. Dollar store has some good medical supplies, but really, yeah, stock up on that stuff. I agree, totally agree. Yeah, big stores get it sporadically, and the same as it was. I've tried to go more local to like local gun shops. I feel like they are not being crazy with their prices as much. Like they're trying to just be kind of normal. That's my experience. It could be different for other places. I'm just saying. But yeah, ammo prices are not getting better in summer. We have high inflation across all industries now. Yeah, I actually agree with you. Like I said, they say, the experts always say, right? Well, it'll get better by summer. I mean, like I said, where have I heard this before? I mean, people always say this stuff. I predict it'll be better by this time, and it's not. So stop listening to these experts and just be prepared. Just be prepared, because you know that things happen. the thing is, this is kind of a funny question because, yeah, I do a lot of dry firing, but dry firing can only do so much. It can help with muscle memory and, building up that confidence and that kind of thing. And again, practicing with dry firing techniques is great, fantastic. But, actually getting out there and firing your gun, I mean, 500 rounds is not atypical. It's just, that's actually a very typical, I can go through that in like 15 minutes. I mean, it's very easy to go through that in just a single session. And that's barely, like if you have a brand new gun or a brand new shooter, that's barely breaking you in and your gun. And so, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not a lot. So, yeah, this is another one. Airsoft, a lot of people have been going to airsoft, and I think it's a good idea. I've been practicing more with my archery. I just really I'm trying to hone in my, I'm looking at my bow now. Hello. I'm trying to hone in on my recurve a little bit. I've been on the compound game for like 10 years. I started with a recurve and then I got off and just like focused on my compound. And then it made me really rusty and just like crap with my recurve. So I'm getting back on it and I'm getting really good with it, guys. I am getting good. I'm pretty proud of myself, gotta say. But yeah, again, airsoft, really good idea, I think. And Canada seems to be worse for this stuff. Ammo seems to be plentiful. What? Oh, well, we're talking about Canada. Never mind. Nobody shoots in Canada, right? Okay. Dry fire without live fire, my shooting skills gotten only worse. I mean, the thing with dry fire is you're not shooting. You're just not, and so dry fire can help. Dry fire techniques can help with your draw and create that muscle memory and all this stuff. But I mean, yeah, like you really need to feel that recoil, and you need to see exactly how you're aiming, where it's going. So many people get, so many people have little tweaks and quirks about themselves and their shooting that you can really only feel when you're feeling that recoil. And so, yeah, shooting is fundamental to the whole, shooting thing. Yep, there's lots of it. Lots of hunting. Thank you. I know that there have to be like clubs. I think that the only, please, somebody who's Canadian and actually shoots, correct me, but I thought that the way that you could get certain long guns and certain guns and things is if you are belonging to a gun club, or is that across the pond? I don't remember how it works in Canada, to be quite honest. I'm giving misinformation. I'm sorry. Reach out to your local place and figure out how that works. I know there's a lot of restrictions and things. We were just looking at how to go through Canada to get to Alaska. Just, we were just playing around. Let's go to Alaska, right? And we wanted to go on a hunting trip in Alaska. You have to do it with a guide if you're a non-resident, I believe, was what I was reading. Anyway, but you should go for it. Just learn, just contact somebody and just start learning about what you got to do. But my point is, when we were thinking about even just traveling through, they have restrictions on ammo. They have restrictions on the type of gun that you can go, and magazines and everything. It's just so many restrictions. And I'm all like, I'm from the U.S. I don't have to follow your laws. No, but I'm going from the U.S. to the U.S. Just let me through. No, but yes. So just go for it. I say, just go for it. Thank you for sweating your buns off, or something. Thank you. That's my sheen from my sweat. No, not dripping that bad. It's pretty warm in here though. I wanted to open up the door or the couple windows, but it's so windy right now, and I didn't want the wind to just be way too loud. I mean, it's ridiculous windy right now. I would love to reload, and we had all of our reloading components and everything long before COVID. And then we gave it to our friend because we were moving, and I guess at the time, and also in the RV, you know, we didn't really have a lot of room or space or anything to reload or anything like that. And then COVID hit, and now there's like no primers and no anything. I can get a reloading machine, but I can't get nothing else. So it's frustrating right now because we have the space and we have the opportunity to reload, but basically all I can get is the machine. And you know, I can get my own brass, you know, when I shoot I can collect it and whatever, but everything else has been difficult. The primers and everything else has been difficult. So yeah. There was one other thing here. We're in Biden's America gun-wise here in Canada. Yeah, Biden wants to make us Canada, but probably a lot worse. That's my dogs barking at somebody. I think it's just our neighbor driving by. They're crazy. They're crazy. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate you. Yeah, nothing to say? Nothing to say to me? I'm just kidding. You've been talking all night. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Guns don't kill people. Magazine with bullets in them kill people. Okay. No, not even that. Thanks for doing this. Oh, I think that was your comment. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I remember Canada is North America too. No, it's not. I do not acknowledge Canada. No, I actually have I know a lot of people in Canada, and so, you know, Canadian prepper. I don't know him, but outside of him, I do know people, and they're always telling me. I've been seeing some reels lately about Canada and their COVID restrictions. They're on lockdowns again, and they're just like, seriously, like, people are getting fed up. They're just getting fed up. Canada is on the rails, off the rails, rather. SoCal's an armed camp. Guns are flying off the shelves, and pistol ranges are full most day. Interesting. In Southern California? Now that encourages me about California, but I know that California has very strict gun laws as well. I actually, I went shooting in LA once, and there were only indoor ranges, which is whatever. It was actually the outskirts of LA, and the range itself had a lot of like a lot of restrictions and rules and things like that when it came to like how you could fire, what you could fire, all that kind of stuff. And so I just remember thinking to myself, boy, this must be exhausting for people who actually want to shoot and like who actually want to practice and that kind of thing. But I suppose if you live there, you know, you figure it out kind of thing. You know, you just deal with it. But yeah, let's see. They jailed the Canadian pastor for not having the service requiring mask. Oh, that's right. I think I did hear about that. I seem to remember hearing a story about that, but I wasn't sure if it was in Canada or not. Yeah. Canada's crazy. Thank you so much, Pamela. I very much appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I agree. Outdoor ranges are much easier. They're much nicer. I hate indoor ranges. I hate them. I hate this so much. Okay, so I would love to hear if you guys have seen any other shortages. I guess my point is, when it comes to shortages, just, you know, look at what's been happening and here, you know, and understand the shortages have happened long before COVID came around, right? And we just want to understand that these things happen, and the whole idea and the basis behind being prepared is to not be in these situations, to not get stuck in these situations, to not see that the shortages are happening right now, but you aren't ready to handle them and you aren't prepared for them. So just be mindful. Really, just be mindful and be prepared, right? Don't be scared, just be prepared. Rah, rah, whoop, whoop, rah. I need the cheerleader. Woo! Okay. I was in outdoor range last month. Was that for the LA? Yeah, there are outdoor ranges in California. I know that. Girlfriend drinks. Gosh, she only likes it out of the can a few months back. It was horrible. I had to search far and wide for. Really? That's wild. Okay. Yes, we've been talking about shortages this whole show. Thanks for joining us, Jason. The repeat of this show will definitely talk all about this. Meats, to recap, I want to recap for those who have just been showing up, but to recap, some shortages that are definitely popping up are a lot of food-wise, but, you know, like a lot of meats. So in order to combat this stuff, go to your local suppliers. There are local suppliers in your area. I guarantee it. Even if you have to drive a little bit. And a lot of those local suppliers will supply directly to the public. So look out for those people. And yeah, so look out for those local. Other than that, just get it when you can. And, you know, again, don't panic. Never panic. Please don't panic. Just be cool and, you know, buy one or two at a time. It's totally fine. And start a garden. Get your own chickens so you can get some, at least protein from those eggs, right? Thank you very much, Mark. Very good conversation with y'all tonight. Appreciate you. And ammo, of course, you know, a lot of these things could be cyclical. A lot of these things could be society driving up the price because they keep buying things at certain prices, and manufacturers are going, well, why should I lower the prices? Or manufacturers are going, well, I can't produce because of your demand, things like that. That's actually a big problem too with a lot of places, is they simply can't keep up with demand. So it's actually difficult for a lot of places, but also just because there's been shortages like aluminum, which has created a shortage of certain things. People are getting creative though, you know, just kind of depends. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you. It was such a lively crowd. I love, always love having you guys here, and tonight was awesome. You guys are great, and I really do appreciate you. So thank you so much. Yes, all gun parts are very short right now. We wanted to build another AR, and we were able to get a couple parts, and we have a few parts on a wish list right now because we literally can't get them. But yeah, get creative with stuff, start a garden, find your local suppliers, and try to think more locally. I know that there are a lot of farmers markets that are opening up or starting to open back up. Car parts, yeah, go to the junkyards, find the parts in the junkyard. Yeah, that's great. And look to smaller businesses, like I said, those local places, but just in small businesses in general. I've actually been having great success, way better success with smaller businesses than I have with like the big box stores, with some things. So yeah, watch for sales for sure. Sales are always cyclical. So buy your summer clothes in winter, buy your winter clothes in summer, you know, buy your sunscreen in the winter, you know, for you know, whatever, you know what I mean. But there's a lot of sales on produce and a lot of these things, you know, all the time. A lot of these sales are very cyclical, and so I've been saying cyclical a lot. This you getting tired of that? Cyclical. All right. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Building is so easy. I really want to make a video about how to build, but it'll probably get taken down on my whole channel with it. So I might make like a, I don't know, an unlisted video and just share it or something. I don't know. I would really want to make this video for you guys because I've actually gotten this question a lot. Every time I show my AR or something like on Instagram, a lot of people ask me. So I don't know. There are videos out there, I think, maybe still. They haven't gotten taken down yet. Or I'll just post it somewhere else. Somewhere it doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay. I think that's about it for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. I got to go put my kids to bed. I don't like not putting them to bed. It's very important to me. So that's why these are usually at around 6 p.m. Pacific time, because then I put my kids to get to bed around 7. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here. You guys were amazing. Lively as always. I love it. Thank you so much. And thank you all so much for just your general support and everything. So I will definitely look into alternatives when it comes to getting more gun content out and stuff like that. Just saying that word's probably going to get this video demonetized. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Remember, be prepared, not scared. Okay. I'll see you later. Bye. We get all into the chat.